Come on, kids. So what we're doing today is we're gonna take a look at the hives, and we wanna show you a little bit about how bees live, how to be safe around bees so that you're not as scared of bees and bees aren't as scared of you. Bees have 803 eyes. Because they have so many eyes and they can see up, down, sideways, behind themselves, all at the same time, any movement that we make around the bees, they can see so much better than us. And so when we're around bees, we want to stay calm, make deliberate movements that are slow. One thing we do when we work with bees is we use smoke. And the reason that we do that is because bees talk to each other in several different ways. One of the ways that they talk to each other is with smell. And bees, honeybees in particular, if they sting us, they die. And so when we're going inside their hive, we want to make sure that we're creating a big smelly atmosphere around them so that they can't talk to each other. That way they can't be like, go sting that guy over there. Bees have different jobs throughout their life cycle, just like you will throughout your life. They start off and they just hang out with their mom, the queen. And when they first hatch out and they become a bee, they will just take care of their mom the whole time. A little bit different than what you guys do at home, right? Where your mom's taking care of you. And then they take care of the other babies that are inside the hive. They're called larvae. After that, they start to be the builders of the hive. All they do is build inside the hive. So they build a little wax, if you think of like the hexagon shape with 6 sides. And just like you get earwax, the bees are able to make wax with their bellies. Their bellies are called abdomens. And so they can create wax with their bellies, and then they mash it up and form it into that honeycomb that we all think about. Inside the hive, we have what are called frames. This is what we as beekeepers put inside the hive so that the bees can draw their wax comb and create their honey on it. What we can see on this frame right here is that you have some of these hexagon-shaped open cells, as we call them, that the bees are making out of wax. This is where the bees harvest nectar, bring it back to the hive, and start to create honey. So when they harvest the nectar from flowers, it has 80 to 90% water. So it's mostly water. If you were to taste it, it would just be a little bit sweet. It wouldn't be sweet like honey. But what the bees are able to do is they're able to remove that water through what is called desiccation, which means just drying things out, and make it into honey. So once it's become honey, then they cap it over with wax to preserve it. And honey's one of those things that actually never goes bad. They found honey from King Tut's tomb. So on this side, you can see that it looks slightly different. So again, we have the honey over here, but then we see that there's like slightly different looking caps here. And what's happening here is called pupation. This is just the same as a caterpillar pupates into a butterfly. The baby bees start off as this little white jiggly worm, and the adult bees feed them pollen, and then they grow up, they spin a cocoon, and once they start spinning that cocoon, then the adult bees cover it up with wax. And what will emerge from each of these is a tiny little baby bee that's kind of looks like a baby duck. It's very fuzzy and yellow. So each hive has up to 120,000 bees in it. For 1 pound of honey, it takes about 800 bees their entire life to make that 1 jar of honey that's in your kitchen cabinet. This box that we just took off has about 50 to 80 pounds of honey in it. That's a lot of bees working their entire life to bring us the honey that we all enjoy. But bees do something more than bring us honey. One of the essential things that bees do is called pollination. Plants need to transfer that yellow powdery substance. You know, grabbed a dandelion and rubbed it on your nose, you get that yellow on your nose. That pollen needs to move from one flower to a different flower in order to make the seeds that make that flower or that plant come back. Plants don't have legs, so they rely on our bees. The plants trick them a little bit by providing nectar. And nectar is the sweet liquid that the plants reward the bees with for coming to visit their flowers. In turn, the bees get covered in that pollen because they have little hairs all over the tops of their bodies. Those hairs get covered in the pollen, so when they visit the next flower, some of the pollen from one flower moves to the next flower. That's how we have all the good things that we love to eat. Blueberries, strawberries, apples, peaches, plums, anything that you think of that you would love to eat probably has bees involved in it. Thank you for joining me in learning a little bit about bees today. I hope that what you learned today gave you a little bit of insight about how to be safe around bees, what bees do for you in the environment and for all of us. This is Dustin Vanas, beekeeper for Bear Honey, signing off.